Long Island began with over 400,000 power outages following Tropical Storm Isaias. A week later, more than 30,000 homes and businesses are still in the dark. Local leaders such as Nassau County Executive Curran, they want accountability now for the slow restoration process. And County Executive joins me now with her take. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
So you called PSEG Long Island's response botched and inadequate. I'm curious your take. Prior to the storm, were you confident going into the storm that PSEG Long Island was capable of keeping the power up and running for people?
So PSEG before the storm did a great job in keeping in touch with residents, keeping in touch with elected officials about how they were ready, all the measures that they had taken. And then the storm came, and I think as Long Islanders, we do have most of our communities have above ground wires. We have a lot of old trees. We expect some measure of outage. That's just part of the mix of living on Long Island. But the fact that we're here, the storm was a week today. We still have tens of thousands of Long Islanders without power. And even more devastating and complicated for people was the inability to communicate. Any way that we were asked to communicate, whether it was through text, or through email, or through letters, through phone calls, whatever it was, none of those worked.
Right.
It was a massive failure of communication and uncertainty for people.
And they admitted that failure. The president came out and said, look, we have communication issues. We have to work on it. I'm curious, from your perspective as the county executive, going into the storm, how many times you spoke to PSEG Long Island and what their plan of action was in coordination with you. Did you guys have a plan to take trees, remove them out of the way once the storm came, and get the power back on?
Right. There's always a plan for that. So our Department of Public Works clears the debris on our county roads. And then we have to wait for PSEG. We have to wait for the utility to come when there are trees entangled with wires. We don't do that. It was nigh on impossible for our Department of Public Works to connect, to make an appointment, to even get them on the phone or get a question answered about when we could do it. So we had a situation where our teams did a great job clearing the debris, but then there were trees in the ground, on the ground, in the streets, blocking traffic, unsafe conditions, live wires, and we couldn't get an answer as to when they would come and clear the wire so that we could clear the debris. So it wasn't residents only, it was on every level, in every way that you could possibly communicate. There was a failure.
After Sandy, there was similar sentiment about utility companies. PSEG was brought in to run things on Long Island because of the failure of LIPA. What is your take then on how they did post this storm? This was not a hurricane. There was proper preparation in terms of people forecasting this storm coming their way, knowing it was going to be high winds. What do you give them from an A to an F?
Well, I would have to say it was a failing grade. We know that PSEG came here out of the ashes of the debacle after Sandy and the power issues then. And when you come with a great promise, you have to deliver. And we all understand that mistakes are made. We all understand that outages will happen in such a short, intense storm. Yes, it wasn't a hurricane, but it was intense. The winds were sustained and high. We get that. But it's the communication issues, and it's these lagging outages during a heat wave while COVID, people are working from home, can't connect.
County Executive, what can be done? Because I think what you're saying is what everybody is saying. It's what all the residents are feeling, right? So they then turn to their next level. If they can't turn to PSEG, they then turn to government to take action. So what can be done moving forward? What are the options on the table for you to hold PSEG accountable to say this will not happen again?
So obviously a thorough review, a deep investigation into what happened. Also, I'm asking for PSEG to reimburse residents on their utility bill and also on any spoiled food, medication that had to be refrigerated, that had to be thrown out. I know Con Ed is doing it. I think PSEG should do the same thing. And we all saw the governor talk about perhaps revoking the license. So there's a lot of options here.
And lastly, on this topic, did you talk to them about when those remaining 30,000 people will be back up and running? Is there an answer?
Look, I know they have thousands of workers in from out of state. They're working around the clock. I got to give a shout out to the workers, Local 1049, who are out there. It's really a lack of it's a leadership issue, not a workers issue.
But the timeline, people are entering another day of heat. Is there an answer for? I know you're not the utility company, but did you speak to them about a timeline?
They said Saturday everyone would be up. Here we are at Tuesday, tens of thousands are out. It's just not good enough. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know when it will happen, but we're going to hold their feet to the fire and hold them accountable.
Okay, thank you for that. And we'll hold to their feet to the fire as well. They've been invited on many times and have said that they're too busy right now to come on. I want to get your take real quick, switching topics on education. Big decision in the fall. What are your thoughts about heading back to school safely in the classroom?
Well, we have 56 independent school districts here on Long Island. I'm here in Nassau County. It's actually 124 on all of Long Island. In the city, you've got one district, right? One plan. Here, we've got different school districts, each with their own plan. Most are looking at a hybrid model. As a parent, I'm looking forward to kids getting back to school. I think they need to be back in school. But with this virus, there's so much uncertainty. We're going to have to just go with it day by day and hope for the best. And
So
of
does
course, everyone wear their mask at social distance.
Of course. Does the overall county have a say on the individual plans? Like if you see numbers tick up, are you saying, okay, no?
Well, we keep a very close eye. We do the contact tracing. Our health department is there to answer any questions they may have. But it's the state. They answer directly to the state, but we're there to be helpful in any way that we possibly can. Of course, if we do see another surge, we will take action.
Understood. County Executive, thank you for your time this morning. Thank you for holding utility companies' feet to the fire. Hopefully everybody gets their power back today. I can't even imagine what it's like not to have it for a day, let alone a week in this heat. Thank you.
Thank you.